everybody. It's Lori Bradley here in St. Louis, Missouri. Excuse me. And it is a cold, snowy day here in St. Louis. So I hope that wherever you are able to be in the warmth, and it's a perfect day for crafting. I've got my cards ready for our class, for our Lunch with Lori class, and I have at 3 o'clock this afternoon, if you're still around, I have one more celebration project to show you for today. I'm doing one per day, and that'll be at 3 p.m. on all weekdays through next Friday, which is the end of celebration. And as we all know, celebration is the best time of the Stampin' Up! Year, so make sure that you take advantage of those specials. And I'll put a little more information in the description here. So today, I'm actually going to use just a stamp set. Typically, I show a bundle or a suite, and sometimes I just feel like the stamp sets are overlooked, and so they don't get as much attention as they should. And sometimes I think it's a little harder to come up with projects, or 3 projects, or more multiple projects for just a stamp set. So I'm going to use the Lifelong Friends stamp set, and I'm pretty excited about it, actually. It's a very pretty stamp set, very friendship-oriented. So I think there's some good sayings in it, but I want to show you one of my favorite things about the stamp set, and those of you who are regular people just like me, I think you'll appreciate. So let's turn you around and get started. I've got the stamp set here on my desk, and it is, it's called Lifelong Friends, and that's what we're using today. And I'm going to make you 3 cards, one of which I have mostly done because one of our projects might take a couple of extra minutes. There's a super glare on my camera, probably not where you are, where you can see, but it is definitely glaring. My striped shirt is glaring on my computer screen, so hopefully I can see your comments if you have any. Okay, so we've got 2 different ladies, groups of ladies. There's 2 carrying flower baskets, and then one where there's 3 ladies who have their arms around each other. Great stamp sets, but if you notice, these ladies are normal. They are not Barbie doll size. They are not super thin. This lady has some curves. This lady has some curves. And they're all built differently, and I just love that. I think that's a little more realistic than some of our former stamp sets. So let's get going. I am using a couple of things today. I'm not going to show much celebration for this class, but I have a little bit of a fun fold for you. I have to color this one, so we're gonna start with this. I had a 4 1/4 by 11 piece of paper. I scored it at 5 1/2, and then I cut it at 2 3/4. So that's actually half of the panel. So it'd be about right there. So then I turned that, and when I took my Countryside Corners dies, and I cut a Highland Heather Countryside Corner die from that. So I didn't waste that piece. And so I'm gonna fold this, and I brought out my Subtles Designer Series paper. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attach that purple piece right there. We could do the flower part. Let's see. Maybe I'll wait. I'm going to wait to attach that so we can make a choice at the end. All right. So, but I can go ahead and stamp this piece. And this is going to be the inside panel. I have a 4 by 5 1/4 white panel. I'm going to put that on the inside, and when it closes, my sentiment is going to go right here in this corner, because that is where it will show. So I said, here's to Lifelong Friends. We've got 3 ladies in this little picture. It's just, I got to move it closer so I can see it. I'm just going to put that down in the corner. Okay, here's to Lifelong Friends. Then while I have my black ink, I'm going to stamp my ladies. I'm going to stamp them onto a little bit smaller Countryside Corner die. And if you haven't seen these are in the annual catalog. And if you know me, you know that I never call things by the right things. So these dies, they're not octagons, are they? Actually, they are octagons, but they're not all the same size. So they have 8 sides. And there's multiple sizes, so they're good for layering. But in my world, my classes, we call these the rug dies. They look like there was a stamp set that went with it that retired, but we called those the rug dies. The dies that or the rugs that your grandma had when she, had the big round braided rugs. That's what we call them. So, all right. So I'm gonna stamp my ladies right here on this on this, not hexagon, it's an octagon. I stamp them kind of high, but I don't want to go off my panel. Okay. Hey Monica, thanks for watching today. How much snow did you get? Was there a lot? All the heavy stuff went south of St. Louis, so we didn't get as much as we originally they had told us, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but we didn't get as much. All right, I'm going to color these ladies with blends, and I brought out my blends that I used last night. I'm going to start with the one in the, actually, I'll start with this lady right here. And when I was little, I used to tell people that my hair was not red, it was orange. But when I colored this hair right here and did it orange, it's a little bit, definitely more orangey than my hair. But I use pumpkin pie, but I think I'm gonna bump it up and make it a little bit more auburn, and I'm gonna use Cajun Craze. And let's have this gal have some red hair. Switch it up a little bit, and I'm just gonna kind of go around with the dark Cajun Craze blend. I'm gonna give her some darker hair. Hopefully this works, because if it doesn't, well, I'm gonna have it anyway. It'll be me. And then I'm just gonna blend that in there. That's not too far off from my hair. But yes, people would say I had red hair, and I would get so upset, because to me, red was like crayon red. It wasn't my color. So there you have it. Okay, I have my Smoky Slate blends. I'm going to give this lady some gray hair, short gray hair. I think that looks like a fun, stylish, short haircut. Like I see. Let's see. We can blend that together. So that's my couple of reasons that I really like this stamp set. It is just realistic, and I love that. It shows friends of all kinds. Okay, so we've got our gray hair. Pam, if you're watching, that could be you. And then let's give, let's give the girl in the middle a blonde ponytail. Let's do it. And so I'm going to use my dark daffodil. And just quickly, I don't get too carried away or freaked out about being exact. And maybe that's just me. I know people who like to color. I do like to color, but sometimes when I take too long, then I think too long, and it's just crazy. So, all right. So now I've got their hair. We've got a redhead, a blonde, and a gray-haired lady. Set those over here. Now, let's see. I'm gonna give one of them for sure a purple outfit, because I have a purple card, so they definitely have to have purple. Let's go with this lady today. This is the dark. Oh, I got the wrong one. This is the dark one. So I'm gonna go ahead. My purple marker is getting dry. I think there's. All right. So we're just gonna shade the redhead. And then blend it. Yesterday, well actually, Caden is home again today. We're having virtual school because of the snow, and yesterday he did a school project. He's working on an English poster that he has to present later this week, or Monday actually, and he is, he was using, I have a whole list of tools that he used that are, he used my paper trimmer, he used my my emboss machine, he used my Alphabet a la mode dies. He used my Playful Alphabet dies. I don't get rid of my retired dies. So he used all of those, which is so fun, I think, that I was able to have those ready for him. All right, and I realized yesterday that I didn't have a, no, I didn't. I didn't have all of the skin-toned blends, and so I'll show you how I changed around to give different skin tones for my ladies here. All right, she's just gonna have a Lost Lagoon shirt, and then, oh man, I used the other color. Let's give this lady, I got new blends. I got new pumpkin pie blends. Only 3 inches. No kidding. I thought it was supposed to come your way like really, really hard. So I'm surprised by that, actually. Okay. Pumpkin pie. All right. I don't typically make you watch me color, but I thought that this was kind of a fun one to show how easy it is to color and how you can do it all kinds of different ways. Okay. And then she, you know what, I'm gonna make those her blue jeans right there. I think that's far enough down. I have my Misty Moonlight blends right here. I have to put them all back in my bucket, but she's gonna be wearing blue jeans. Okay, now let's color their skin. We have, where is it? I have my Petal Pink out here, and that's of course gonna be the redhead. And then I have Ivory. So what I did yesterday when I made my sample is I just colored it in Ivory. There are several tones, and I at the time did not get them when they first came out, and then I must admit that I don't use the skin tones very often, so I didn't think about it again. I'm gonna go over that again. I'm gonna give her a little bit darker. Then the blonde lady in the middle, we're just gonna give her, you have to watch where her arm is. I'm just gonna do her really light. We're only gonna do 1 coat on her. And this is her arm. Okay, now I'm gonna go over her one more time, and you can see that it's getting darker. See the difference in the tones right there? Now, for my skin, this is gonna be me over here. My hair's not quite that curly, but if I let it dry, it might be. I'm going to use the Petal Pink. No, I'm not. It's not Petal Pink. It's right here. All right, the Petal Pink, the dark Petal Pink. Let's see how this, oh, no, light Petal Pink. I don't want her to look like she has a sunburn yet. We're gonna color her so she's even a little bit more different. Okay. My black ink is trying to bleed. I'm not sure what that's all about. All right, so we have our we have Petal Pink. I have Ivory on the short-haired lady, but I did multiple coats, so she's actually a darker complexion, has a darker complexion than the blonde. All right, let me set my markers aside, and then we will go ahead and we will put our stuff together here. Okay, I'll put this onto the next size Countryside Corner. Those are a little bit bigger of a border than I usually use, but I think they're okay. Always, you'll notice when I colored with the blends, it came through onto the back side. Always make sure you have scrap paper underneath your paper when you're using blends. Actually, that was another thing that Caden used. He had to color an arm for his poster, so he used my Ivory blend as well. Okay, so this piece is going to go on our inside. I don't normally do colors all the same, but since I had my blending brushes out and it all kind of flowed today, so there's a couple of purple things today. All right, so we've got that. This is going to go on the front and be right here, so it's going to be kind of a fun fold. Now, we can put the flowers and the stems like that, or we can do the stripes. So, let me know what you think. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tie my bow, because I have to tie a bow to put on the side here. And this is my sneak peek 1/4 inch white ribbon from the March online exclusives, and I love it, so I'm going to just keep showing it. So if you have an opinion on the floral or the stripe, let me know. And I'll go ahead and tie my bow and have it ready while you're thinking. This ribbon does tie nice bows, which is helpful for me. So, and there we go. Monica, do you have an opinion? All right, my only problem is that I tied it too far up, so let's go down a little bit. All right, I think the stripes might be a little more universal, so I may just go ahead with the stripes. Ah. There we go. This one will just be a little bit smaller. This one I did on the side. This one I might just do down on the corner. Sometimes I pick things up off my desk that I've already got made, and that was one of them. Flowers. Oh, you were just in time because I was about to put the glue on. All right, so let's do the flowers. Actually, we can add to that just a little bit. I think I have some white flowers that are right here. Let's see how we can make those work. All right, so we've got our flowers on here. Now we're going to attach our friends on the front. Now, we got to make sure that we only put adhesive on that left side. We don't want to put anything over on the right side because, well, you know what would happen. We would close our cards. I just got my adhesive. I'm going to make sure I don't. Okay. All right, so there we have that. I'm going to put my little bow right here, but I have some flowers that I cut for one of our other cards. So maybe I'll put this here, and then maybe I have enough. Let's put a couple of flowers on here. What do you think? One here, maybe? Oh, we have plenty. Let's use 3. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's use our glue dot to attach our ribbon. I'm gonna make that a little bit smaller because it's kind of a small knot. And then we'll put it right here in the corner. Okay, once we've got our bow placed, let's put some glue dots, oh my goodness, some flowers. And these flowers I die cut from the Linked Together bundle, and I'm going to show those in just a minute. So this is actually a little bonus. I wasn't meaning to do this morning, or for this card. Let's do a couple, just for fun. Tie it all together. If I had cut a purple one, that would be perfect, but we're going with our white ones. Just the mini dimensionals fit right on the back here, so we're going to make those stand up just a little bit. And then, let's see. Move that guy over just a little bit and put one right there. All right, now we need a little bit of bling, right? We need some bling. So I have the purple adhesive back sequins. These are a sale Bration item. They're one of the $60 items. So let's put those on our flowers for sure. Do you want me to do the white ones or do you want me to do the purple ones? I'm thinking the purple, just to add some contrast to our flowers. Yep, that's perfect. You could do it whichever color you want. If you had pearls at home, you could use pearls. You could use whichever one you want. And there we have it. So there is, this one I put the sequins in a different spot. This one we used the flowers and added some flowers. Purple. Good answer, Monica. Good answer. I appreciate that. Okay, let me set this aside. Get rid of my extra pieces. Get those out of my way. All right, so the next one is a card that I saw, that I got the idea from my friend Sue at Sue's Paper Creations in Canada. Mine's a little bit different than hers, but my screen disappeared. Okay, here we go. Purple. I think that was a great choice. Okay, so I made a mask. I made a mask for circles. You probably can't see this. I made a mask using the Stylish Shapes dies. Can you see the 3 circles that I cut? And then I have one on a different page that I cut out of the 4 circles from the Stylish Shapes dies. So we're going to make a mat. You could do the same thing. You could cut it out of masking paper. You could cut it out of just a piece of white cardstock. You could cut it out of a piece of typing paper. Whatever you have that makes it easier for you. I actually used the window sheets that we sell, and I did that because that way I could just wipe it off and rinse it and use it again later. So that's why I chose that. All right, so I have a white panel. We're going to start with that, and I'm going to start with my biggest circle, and I'm going to put that right in the middle. Okay, and I'm going to use Highland Heather. I have several ink pads over here, so hopefully I can keep them all straight. The one thing I didn't do was get my cleaner pad wet, but I think we'll be okay. All right, so we're going to, and you want to make sure that your mask is big enough around it so you don't get all over everything else. So I spread out my circles. So I'm going to hopefully not shake the table. I'm going to use my Highland Heather ink, and I'm just going to start off, and I'm just going to color that circle. It doesn't have to be too dark, but I'm just going to make it Highland Heather, just like that. Okay, and then I'm done with the Highland Heather, so I'm going to close that. Now, I'm going to go to the next biggest circle, which I'm going to do in Pool Party. So I'm going to do Pool Party. There's a method to my madness here. So, all right, I'm going to put that one, let's do it right up about here. I'm going to overlap a little bit. What's that called? A Venn diagram? Is that where there's the circles that match the things? I think that's what it's called. I think I did a little too centered. I think I wanted it a little bit off. But that's okay. That's good. We'll be alright. Go as high as I can. Actually, I'll go off a little bit. I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to do Pool Party. Right around the edge here. My circle goes off my page. And then let's do another. Nope. I did mess up. So that one I did too close to the edge. You see this little line? Flip it over. Whoa. Mistakes happen, right? Good thing there's 2 sides to every piece of paper. Alright, we're going to go a little bit to the left for this one this time. Make sure when you have your mask that you have the side with ink on it is to the top. Otherwise, you're going to be a little bit messy. Still, this will make me happier. It doesn't have to be super dark, like I said. It's just gonna be a circle. And then go back to our pool party. Hopefully I do it right this time. Just have to be careful. Remind me of that, please. Purple. Just have to be careful with my edge right here. I could even leave this one right up against it if I need to. Just can't get too crazy. Apparently the first time I got crazy. Doesn't, like I said, doesn't have to be super dark. It's just going to give a bubble effect, kind of a bokeh look, except it's colors instead of white. Okay, and then let's do another one of those. That one's not super dark. That's perfect. And then let's do one over here. No rhyme or reason, just some circles. Hold everything down. Not to get my hold everything down. There we go. Alright. That one might need a little bit more. Let's do this. Do it from this direction. Maybe I'll do a little bit better. I was trying to do it on that left side and that was not comfortable. Alright, so we've got our pool party. Now, I'm done with the pool party. Set that aside. I'm done with the Highland Heather. Now, let's do a couple of flirty flamingo. Same thing. Got blending brushes and ink pads all over my desk here. Alright, now I'm going to go to the next side. So I just started at my biggest circle and I'm working my way down. So that was number 1, that was number 2, this is number 3. Let's see, let's go down here. This one's farther apart, so I don't have to worry so much about getting my ink different. Let's do one up here. You're probably wondering, what in the world is she doing? This could be a great baby card if it was not ladies in their group. Okay, now last one, we're going to use the smallest one. Wouldn't that be a fun baby card? We'll do Lemon Lolly. I inked it last night, you can see. Sure, use the right blending brush and use Lemon Lolly. I'm going to do, let's see, let's do 3 of those. So that there's an odd number. Whew. Definitely inky. Okay, yellow's going to be our main color, which is actually okay because my card is yellow. If you want it not quite so dark, you could tap off. Rub a little less. That kind of thing. So we've got our yellow circles, we've got all of our circles. Now that one I did mess up just a smidge, but hopefully we can cover that and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Okay, now let's stamp some words and some stuff. Alright, I have my 2 ladies who are friends. We're going to stamp those in Gorgeous Grape and they're going to go right here on this center circle. But you're wondering, how am I going to keep that from getting below? I'm going to lay my mask right back over my purple circle. Do it that way. And ink them up in Gorgeous Grape. And I'm going to stamp them right in the middle of that circle. Sorry, I got to move closer to myself so I make sure that I'm still in the right spot. Stamp them so they're kind of high in the circle. Maybe they're baskets. See what comes through. make sure kind of get the edges because, okay, so now we've got our ladies. We've got our ladies on our card. We're done with them. I'm going to set them aside. Now, there's this cute little flowers that go with this stamp set, but there's all, the word I'm going to use is so happy to have you in my life. I'm going to stamp that in Coastal Cabana on this pool party. I started to do Coastal Cabana yesterday when I made my sample and the bubble was too dark. So I'm just going to do so happy to have you in my life in this circle, just right up here. Just like that. Okay, done with the Coastal Cabana. Literally, I have 2, 4, 6, so I've got 7 ink pads sitting on my desk right here. You know that's scary, right? All right, now for the circles, for the Flirty Flamingo circles, we're gonna stamp some flowers. Actually, I'm gonna start with the yellow, and here's why. Because my ink, my cleaner pad is not fully clean, it's not wet, and so if I stamp yellow first, I'll be okay. Okay, so I'm gonna stamp yellow flowers on my yellow circles, and since I did the lemon lolly, my Daffodil Delight flowers will show up. Okay, so I'm going to put that right back over the circle. I'm going to ink up my flowers. The one thing I will say about this stamp set that caused me a little bit of grief today was that the rubber is not quite close enough to this upper flower. And so if you rock even a little bit, you're going to get that edge mark, which you don't want. Let me show you. If you rock even a little bit, oh, I got ink on my paper. All right. If you rock even a little bit, you're going to get that edge right there. Okay, so I think I had ink on my finger, so we're going to just pretend that I don't. I'll fix my sample later. Make sure I got this wiped off. We don't need any more purple ink anywhere. Okay. Now, goodness gracious, look at that. My hand or the thing. All right, so we're going to use yellow. I'm going to use our yellow. I'm going to keep that purple piece off of there. I'm going to ink up my flowers in the daffodil. And then I'm going to stamp those flowers into our circle. Just a little bit. Tone on tone. Do it again over here on this one. Just a flower or 2. Just like that. And then let's do it down here on the third one. Might be able to cover this up. I might be able to save myself. We'll see. If not, I'll. Okay. So we have our yellow flowers on our thing. Now I'm gonna wipe it off best I can. I meant to wet my finger pad and I didn't get that done. But if I go yellow into the Flirty Flamingo, I think it won't show up. I think we'll be okay. A little lighter to darker, but don't try to go darker. All right. Except this purple. Oh my goodness. All right. You know, bows have always been my not forte, but today it's definitely. Ooh, I'm telling lies again. I'm telling lies, and I already did it. We needed some Coastal Cabana flowers right there. All right, so we've got this covered. I'll do that right onto the pink. Flowers. Turn it around. Let's do the same thing up here. I was trying to do it so that they're not, the flowers don't go onto the circle. And so, ooh, hi Janet. Yes, you might have seen this card. If you've watched Sue, you might have seen this card before. Or similar. Hers were actually different colors. But thank you for joining me. I feel like I'm in Canada here today with snow and 15 degrees temperature, but here we are. Okay, I think I've got that clean. Let's really quick put some Coastal Cabana flowers right here on our pool party circle. Okay. And I'll fit in this circle. Put a flower here, right on our circle. Okay, that one I'm afraid is just a mess. Okay, so we have our panel. Now, let's put it together. I'm going to show you how messy I can be, I guess. All right, I have a lemon lolly card base. Seems springy, doesn't it? Doesn't lemon lolly seem very springy? I like it. Okay. And then since the ladies are purple, that's going to be my focal, my background color. And I didn't want to do just a plain matte. So I'm just going to do a little bit of cattywampus, and we're going to go sideways like this. So we have some purple, some yellow. There's no, maybe I should have stayed with my one that I didn't mess up here. But I want to make sure that they actually fit onto the card front. So I'm going to lay this. I want that to be fairly straight because my words would be all weird if I didn't. Oh, my adhesive is almost empty in this roll. I'm going to put that on the card front. Alright, now I have the Baker's Twine 3-color pack, and there is Lemon Lolly, Flirted Flamingo, and Balmy Blue. I used Lemon Lolly for this one, but let's try the Flirty Flamingo on this one. Bring in another color. Make it just a little bit different. Is this big enough? I think it needs more than one loop. Let's start on this side. Oh. I had got complimented yesterday that I was doing so much better with bows, and today I feel like I'm struggling a little bit. It's one of those days. I like to say the cold is to plague, but I don't think it's the cold's fault. Alright, then I'm going to use a glue dot, and I'm going to put that right there, so it's going to cover up that little blooper, and then maybe they won't notice that one either. If I send this to you, please don't yell at me for having the thing. Alright. Oh, shoot. Oh, yes, we have extreme cold here, too. Ooh. It snowed yesterday, and I was inside all day. I probably will stay in all day today, too. Alright, so here we have our strings. I'm going to trim those off with my ribbon snips here. Now, let's add a little bit of sparkle because, and for that, actually, should we use the white sequins, or should we use the iridescent dots, the iridescent faceted gems? Which one of those do you think? The white sequins or the iridescent faceted gems? Which one do you think? What should we use? Do you have an opinion? I'm gonna make my own decisions because that's how I'm rolling today. I did ask opinions and I didn't really mean it, but I'm gonna use the faceted gems so that when celebration is over, then I don't have to worry about, oh, well, those gems are gone, sorry. Celebration ends next Friday. I think I said that. And there are shopping specials. There's super shopping specials. If you spend, if your order is ginormous and it's $300 US, then you could easily, you get an extra $30 for free in your hostess money. And then if you are really have a big wish list, the Join My Team special, the starter kit, buy the starter kit, and it is $99, and you get either $155 worth of merchandise, which is $30 more than usual, or it is you get 2 sets of markers, 2 color families. So it's a great deal if you have a long wish list. All right, we can talk about that more later if you have questions. White. Oh, I used the gems. Your responses came 1 second too late. All right, well, let's peel it off. Let's peel it off. See if we can if I can get them off easily, then I will do that. put these back on the card. My third card, you're probably like, oh my goodness, Lori's taking a long one. Okay, this one's not going to come off. Oh, there it goes. Lori's got a long lunch today. Normally I try to keep quick. My third card, I've already done most of the work because embossing, it's embossed, it's heat embossed, and because Caden is home today and his stuff is on the kitchen counter, just being in there to do a Facebook Live was not ideal. So I went ahead and did some embossing. All right, girls, I hope you like these sequins. Here they are. All right, so we have the white sequins, we have the iridescent gems. Okay, card number 3. I'm gonna go with Coastal Cabana. I'm just gonna do a blending brush again, and I thought, no, I'm going to emboss in white. Okay, I'm going to do just white, and I'm just using those flowers, that flower stamp set that the flower stamp that I used for this one. I stamped in Versamark, and then I went ahead and I embossed that with the white Wow Stampin' Up! Embossing powder, which is amazing. If you don't have the new embossing powder, if you have the old kind, it is terrible compared to the new stuff. The new stuff heats so much better, and it looks so shiny and pretty. And then I did Thinking of You, Friend, down in the bottom. It's a pretty simple card. So I just did that. When I was trying to figure it out, I stamped my word first. I stamped it right across the bottom. And then I laid a narrow strip of paper right here so I could see where my ribbon was going to go. I put it right here. I'm going to put a ribbon across there, but I'm going to attach the Coastal Cabana. Uh-oh. I need to cut it down just a smidge. So I cut my paper at the same size. Ooh, my table's making noise. Alright, I'm going to cut it off of this side so that my words are still where they need to be. I like a narrow border, so I'm going to make it 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, just so you know what my dimensions are when I do that. If I did a bigger border, I'd do a 1/4 inch, but I kind of like the 1/8 inch. Now, glue that onto there. So the Coastal Cabana will have a white border. Sometimes I do a colored border, but this time we're just going to do Coastal Cabana in white, which I think is kind of fun. That's a little extra powder. So this right here is the result of this edge right here, like where it was too far away, and that was literally the last section I did, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna pretend like it's not there. How's that? Okay, I'm gonna go back to my white ribbon. Like I said, I love this new ribbon. I'm gonna tie another bow. This is the 3rd bow for today, you guys, and I want it to be on that side. I apologize, I did not put a band-aid back on my burn mark for my skin removal the other day. It needed to air, so I apologize if you're wondering what in the world happened to Lori's hand. But again, I'm going to do another public service announcement. Make sure that you get your skin checked for skin cancers. It was 20 years ago last week that I had surgery to remove melanoma from my wrist. So that's my public service announcement for today. Might be every day, but it's especially on my mind right now because it was 20 years ago. So I told my dermatologist secretary when I went last time, the other day, it was our 20-year anniversary, and she laughed. So, all right. Hopefully I can get this bow tied. If not, Monica's going to be shaking her head at me. Got my bow. It's not the greatest bow, but we're going with it. And look at that. It kind of covers up that little whoosh of powder. I'm going to put a glue dot underneath it just so that my bow stays in place. Just put that right behind the knot so that it stays where I want it. There we go. And I can pull that a little bit taut on the back too if I need to. All right. Now, I am going to add from my original sample just a little bit. Okay. So this is actually going to go onto our card. It's going to be pretty simple. I'm going to put that up on dimensionals just to add a little bit more oomph to it. Use the big ones for this. Aren't you glad that I already embossed this? You're not having to watch me emboss. I'm driving my struggle bus today. Okay. Normally, I don't do much embossing when I'm doing this class, but I thought this is perfect for this. This could be any color. I liked the Coastal Cabana. I was actually my first attempt was going to be a pool party white panel and then white embossed, and I was going to do pool party, and I was like, I don't know. I can finish it and see. I was trying to figure out how to put my words on, and so this way I could just snip my words directly onto my paper. So that was my original starting point. I guess I should fold my card in half. Sometimes things don't go where I think they're going to. Like, they change quite quickly, and I realize, oh, no, that won't work, or this will work, or I wish that I could change this, and so. Okay. I'll put that on dimensionals. Now, I want to add just a little bit, and like I said, I had these white flowers cut. I'll find them. They're all right here. And these are the same flowers that I added to that first card with the floral. And I thought, wouldn't it be fun to just add a few, like if there's a spot where there's not a, just add some flowers. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the first one. I'm going to pop those up on dimensionals. We'll see if you like this. Pop them up. The mini dimensionals work perfect for this kind of thing. They're sticking away. Alright, I definitely want one kind of right here because there's a blank space. And then, it's sometimes a little difficult to see where you want things when you're embossing. If it's clear, my white paper was harder to see. Alright, how about that? We've got 3 things. Now, let's use those white sequins again. And we will put those right in the flower centers. I'm going to use small ones this time. And those, like I said, are from the Linked Together bundle. And I had those laying on my desk, so I thought I'm just going to add those to it. Alright, so there's card number 3. You could add more if you wanted. There's card number 2. My desk is messy. And then card number, well, 1, 2, 3. So hopefully you enjoyed these projects. I appreciate that you watched today. I'll be back at 3 p.m. Central Time in case you are around later, and we will do just one celebration product. I said I was going to do one celebration video every day for the next 2 weeks, so I will look forward to seeing you at 3 o'clock this afternoon if you are available. Close to my stuff there, so hopefully you can see those. And I'll look forward to seeing you later. If not, if I don't see you today, then I will see you back here next week for Lunch with Lori. Thanks for joining me.